Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Brian, let's go! I am so happy to be here, and I cannot wait to talk about marketing. Now, I have to let you know that people often say I speak fast, and I will let you know that you probably listen slow. Good thing this will be recorded, so you can listen to it on half speed. But before I get there, I have to just start off by denoting where the emergency exits are located. You'll find them to the sides of the room, in the back of the room. It's also at that place that I would invite you to leave any egos, expectations, awards, stipulations, social followings, newsletter sizes. In this room, what I hope beyond all else is that we are a group of people who are dedicated to being a better entrepreneur today than we were yesterday, even if it is just by 1%. Oh, thank you. They're up. I'm not a classically trained speaker, so when I see that things aren't happening, there's a silent part of me that's totally panicked. But as any good entrepreneur knows, you just keep on talking until it starts working. Can I get an amen? Okay. Oh, I forgot I'm in England. So let me explain the way that church works in the United States. I'm sure there's churches here. My dad is from Mexico. He has a church in East Los Angeles, and in church, they talk back. So it's totally okay. So if I would be so beholden to you, if I ask a question, your girl is struggling up here, and everyone's just like, entertain me. I am not an entertainer. I simply am here to document my process and share everything I know with you. So can I get an amen? Thank you so much. I don't know about you, but at different points of my career, I would come to events like this and I would feel like there was a totem pole of success. There were people in the room who had massive social followings and they went viral twice. Have you seen the size of their newsletter list? And then there's other people just getting started. The people who feel like they don't belong in the room, and somebody might say, they only have a Facebook page. What happens is there's people above, perceived, and people below. And I got tired of that approach. And instead, I now go to events where I'm like, can we turn this totem pole side by side and simply look to the person to the left and to the right and ask, how might I be of service? And if I am so lucky, how might we create synergies with our clients to serve them well? That, my friends, is the best type of marketing. I'm about to quote Dale Carnegie, who said, your business will go genuinely farther being genuinely interested in 2 other people than trying to get 200 people interested in you. The greatest thing you will get from EMC is finding 2 genuine connections that will blow up your business. So, as we come there, I will start off by listing 3 reasons why you would probably want to stop listening to me now. Number 1, I'm uneducated. I do not have an MBA after my name. I haven't been classically trained at Oxford in economics, not at all. There will be no other letters coming after my name. If you're looking for some side of pontification, some type of pontification, I will not be that person. My education is on the back of YouTube and Google. Proudly got a PhD off the internet. That's a joke. You guys, I mean, come on. I know the Brits. So I was in the back and I was watching Marcus say, everybody get up and dance. And about 1 out of every 7 was just like, okay. And I realized, oh, I'm not in Kansas anymore, right? In LA, people just get up and dance because that's what we do. You know, it's like you're in the grocery market and there's a good song on, people just be bopping. You know, it's like we just feel ourselves. So if you talk back to me and if Sammy happens to every so often kick off a little bit of music, it's okay. We're having fun. You could be, that's right. That's right. Just bop your head. Hey, 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 hey. Any Latinos in the house? Hey, hey, hey. Nobody. Okay, listen, you guys are stuck with me the next 45 minutes. We're going to have fun. At the end of this, we are going to have fun. Because if you can't have fun in business, get out. Anybody? Would we rather sit on somebody else's time and dime, wondering how big our life could be? Or could we simply say, I'm here and I will maximize every opportunity that I have been given? I am also, top 2 reasons why you should not be listening to me is I'm unconnected. My father is from Mexico. My mother is from Puerto Rico. They met on the streets of East Los Angeles. I am not a member of the fancy, posh private clubs here you have in London. Fascinating, y'all. Fascinating how that exists here. Nor am I a part of a country club in the United States. I am not the person who will introduce you to somebody, but let me tell you, if you want to get things done, I can connect people. Why? I care about humans, about us being the best versions of ourselves. So the third reason why you might want to stop listening to me is I'm unfunded. I have no venture capital. I have not taken a single bank loan to fund any of the businesses that I have built. There is one reason why you might want to continue listening is I have built multiple seven-figure revenue streams on the back of solid marketing. That's it. I am a nobody trying to do something for somebody. And it has been proven again and again. I am a living testament that the most unqualified person in this room should not be standing on this stage. And yet I am. But I strongly believe that it is all of ours for the taking. My name is Jasmine Starr. I'm a law school dropout. My family was raised on government-issued food. People at our local church would take donations for my family. And all my whole life, I was on the receiving end of getting something. So I never thought in a million years that I could go out and get what it is I wanted. Things just came to us, except when my mother had a relapse with brain cancer for the second time. New Year's Eve, I'm in law school on a full-ride scholarship at UCLA. And there at USC Norris in Los Angeles, California, myself and my 4 siblings and my father, we sneak into the ICU because it's past visiting hours, but the nurses, it being New Year's Eve and all, they just look the other way. And we talk to our mom, and she's talking not about the things that she had not done. She was talking about the things that she wished she had done. She wished she had flown business class. She wished she wrote a children's book. She wished she visited Austria. And I thought to myself, my God, I'm 25 years old and she's 50 and I don't want to die a lawyer. What am I going to do for the next 25 years of my life? So I get married in 3 months to my high school sweetheart. And he asks me, if you could do one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? I said, I want to become a photographer. He's like, okay, you don't own a camera. I know. But let me tell you, there's this thing called Google. If I got a camera, I think I can make it work. And so he says, I would rather see you fail at something you love than succeed at something you hate. And I hated law school. 1 year. I had 3 years to get my scholarships renewed. I took 1 year to see, can I start this business? My whole life, things had come to me. Whatever people were giving of their extras, could I just for one chance set out to do something so different? And the answer was yes. In my first year of business, I brought in 6 figures of revenue. Now, to other people in the room, that's not much. And that's fine. But to a girl who lived on basically nothing, basically the goods that other people left behind, 6 figures was more than my father made for our family of 7 in over 3 years. So just imagine me taking out my entire family and saying, order anything you want on the menu. Sodas too? Sodas. We're getting sodas tonight. We're going big. In 2006, I started my photography career and slowly iterated over then. And then I started creating content where people would pay me to post things on the internet as a purveyor of insights and ideas. And then all of a sudden, people started saying, hey, could you come in and consult for our businesses? To which I have I ever been a photographer before? No. Had I ever been a content creator before? No. I just started creating and people started paying me. So when they said, can you come consult with us? I said, how much do you have? Funny, that's how much I charge. Started consulting with other businesses, and then I started to realize that I wanted to scale beyond myself. I started creating digital courses, which brought in another 7-figure revenue stream. And on the back of courses, I realized that the courses I couldn't keep as fresh and evergreen as I wanted, so I started a membership serving people where they were. And then this membership was for marketing. And I realized that the friction point of providing marketing resources and not being connected to the largest social platforms is added friction. So there in 2020, I decide to be yet again uneducated, unqualified. I don't know a single bit of code. And I decide I'm going to become a tech SaaS founder. That's crazy. I know. How many of us have ever done something crazy and it ends up working for us better than we had expected? I am here to tell you that whatever you set your mind to, the answer will always be yes if you know how to serve people. I simply started talking. I'm unqualified, and yet people started talking. And then people started talking. And then people started talking. And then people started talking. My question to you, friends, ladies and gentlemen, is, are you talking? What of your insights, your ideas, who you are you putting out online? If you do not say it, nobody will say it for you. And yes, I know we're so afraid about the person who's going to be thinking about us in 10th grade. The person who is so mean to us when we go out and show our face on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. What is he going to say? What is she going to say? I don't know, but frankly, I don't care because they don't pay my bills. So if we're on this idea that we might be able to go out and create content that gives people things to talk about our business, well, when we come to events like this, what I see is an education gap. And the education gap comes from, we're at this event, we're feeling really great, we know how to cultivate. So we get to the tactics, right? After the tripwire, after the sales page, after the retargeting on the pixel, after all of that, we're like, yes, that's amazing. But what happens in the middle? How do we as entrepreneurs capture attention, get somebody to follow, then get them to engage? That's the hardest part. Then get them to transact on our behalf. We're going to talk about that today. Now, before we get to the how, and we will, you will be living with meat and potatoes. I am going to tell you what will stop you when you get home. In fact, I have worked with over 40,000 entrepreneurs, and this is where people get stuck. So if you know, you can never say you never knew. So there is a sneaky idea that creeps into every entrepreneur's mind, despite the stage of business that you're in. So if you could then identify what the thing would be to stop you, there's going to be three main things. Once we identify the three things that will, it is not a matter of if, the three things that will get in your way and the ways to overcome them, then we get into the marketing so that in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, you say, not today. I know what's happening and it's not going to be today. This first type of sneaky comparison takes on a mental manifestation. It works for her. It will never work for me. I'm too. It works for him in Leeds. It works for her in Zimbabwe. It works for her in Los Angeles. I'm too black. I'm too white. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too floofy. I'm too skinny. I'm too something. So we will always give ourselves an excuse as to why I'm going to wait for my social media manager to take charge. And you want a social media manager to take charge when we haven't given them anything to use or go with. If we don't identify that you are not one thing, that you are uniquely qualified to serve people, the only person standing in your way will be you. The second sneaky thing that gets in our way, which is very deep, it's emotional. It's this idea that the thing that you want to do is so big that sometimes you question yourself, am I capable to do the thing I want? That sounds crazy. And yet we tell ourselves on a subconscious level, I don't know if that's me. I think this is kind of crazy. When we say that, it leads to inaction, thus creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm not sure, so I won't. I'm not sure, so I won't. This is a loop. It is not a testament to your capacity to succeed. The third is a physical type of comparison. This is the most prevalent. This is the, I don't have that postal code. I don't have that waistline. I don't have that car. I don't have that jet. Therefore, I can't. And let me tell you, 99.9% of people don't have that anyway. But we love to give ourselves a reason to stop these things. So if you ever, at some point, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, think, I can't do that because let me share a framework with from my friend, Jennifer Hootie. She says, Jasmine, you could take my presentation. In fact, if anybody's transcribing my presentation, please take it. It's yours. Print out a transcript. Go live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you so choose. Read from the script, and please know that nothing I say is magical. The message of itself has been repeated for decades and eons. I'm not special. I just decided today I'm going to stand on a stage. So then, if we know the message is the same, the idea then becomes the messenger. You must say something because somebody out there, your size, your color, your gender, your ethnic, your religion, needs to hear it from you. You need to matter to somebody and not stop yourself. So if then you were to say the message and the messenger is the same, hey, I'll come out with a third one, the mechanism. You could be saying the same thing as your twin brother from another mother, but he's a podcaster and you make videos. Great. People need to hear it from you in your own way. So if somebody needs to hear it from you, you're robbing yourself. You're robbing the universe. You're robbing God of the reason you were put here on this earth. This idea that perhaps if you struggle with comparison with this, it's almost a little too big, a little too crazy, reserved for that type of person. we can also use just as much energy to say that everything that you have gone through has prepared you for this moment. If you were to look back and you see the stutter steps, if you were to look back and to see the hurdles that fell in your wake, if you were to look back and look at them not as failures, but as lessons, that you are not starting from scratch, you're simply starting with a lot of experience. Could we not choose that belief? And everything that is meant for you can find you. If we apply a new thought to a past experience, it will change our future marketing endeavors. Now, I get it. About half the room is like, okay, where's the marketing stuff? If you could have got to a different level doing the same thing you are doing now, you would have gotten there. Whatever is stopping you isn't outside forces. It's an inside job. So if we like to sit here and say, I don't have what they have, I don't look like they look, and I don't have that car, that child, that dog, that pair of jeans, fine. But let me tell you that somebody who has less is doing more. There are people who have internet 30 minutes a day. There are people losing limbs. There are people who are 87 years old. There are people who are doing more with less. So what then becomes our excuse? What then is our shield? And in those moments that you're just like, I am in my flat with terrible lighting and it's gray outside, can you not just say, I am in my flat and I'm not outside? Enough gratitude for that very moment can get us to action, because the more you can do with less, the greater your legacy will be. There are future generations who are counting on you to break the generational curse of quitting. Can that be you today? We're going to get into the marketing. But first, we had to turn it inside out to say, I know what's coming. Be prepared. This is coming, and it will stop you if you let it. Because once you move comparison and say, it will always be there, how I choose to show up is neither here nor there because I'm going to show up, let's market our business. Now, the strength of your marketing is determined by what somebody says about you when you're not in the room. Do you want to know how strong your marketing is? If I were to ask 5 people what they think about your business in this room, and they don't have an answer, you have your homework set out for tonight. The job is to get people seated talking about you in very educational ways. So we know that marketing isn't a logo. It's not typography. It's how you make somebody feel. So then our objective in marketing should be emotional, which rub people the wrong way because we want to be quant. We want to be analytics. We want to run numbers. We want to run data. Yes, but let me tell you, you want better numbers, data, and analytics? Make somebody feel something. Why do you think during the Super Bowl, people are running ads of children returning home and puppies and grandparents reunited? We feel something, and that then becomes powerful marketing. And yet you and I have the opportunity to do the very thing on a micro level, and soon enough, it will become macro. How then do we do this? I like to keep things as simple as possible when it comes to marketing principles, because remember, like I said, I taught myself 3 main categories of marketing post. I aim for my post for Social Curator, the business I founded, my personal brand, in 3 main categories: education, empowerment, entertainment. I need to make sure that the content is doing these 3 things. If the content is not doing one of these 3 things, I don't post it, even if I think it's a great piece of content. Why? Studies, analytics, we do a lot of back-end work. We work with entrepreneurs who are using our platform to market, so we see the data. The stuff that does the best is when a follower is learning something, they don't even have to deploy it. They just have to learn. Higher engagement. The idea of learning something has almost the same amount of dopamine as it does if somebody were to do it. When I talk to you and I describe in great detail how I ran 5 miles, don't worry, I didn't. If I were to tell you that though, and I said, oh, in mile 4.6, the wind was blowing through my hair and I was listening to Led Zeppelin, and then there was a dog that was running and I could feel the leaves crunching to my feet, and all I wanted was a deep glass of water, but I knew at the very end that I was gonna have brunch with my friends, and you're sitting here and being like, man, I'm so glad I ran those 4.7 miles with her. Education, empowerment, or entertainment. So, if our goal with our marketing is to educate, empower, or entertain, and we want them to reach out as a lead, the best type of lead that we want is somebody who has prior engaged with us. So like, comment, DM, send to a friend, save the post. All of those are indications to the algorithm that that post matters to that follower. So much so, if you're in your social stories, be sure to use the opportunity for polls, for quizzes, for the slider. Because even if somebody were to simply send a quick reply, an emoji reply, a heart, vote on a yes or no poll, that is an indication to the algorithm that somebody wants to know more. So our objective is to basically get every single post driven for at least any sort of action. Are we on the same page? Great. We're warming up our audience by having them talk to us, indicating to the algorithm that our content, organic right now, is getting people to engage. I like putting out a ton of organic content. When I'm in a promotional period, that is the only time that I will be using ads. But I'm using the organic content to boost and get people engaged so that I could retarget them with paid ads later. Are we on the same page? Great. About 1/3 of us are. I love this. Thank you. And where do I point this? AV, where do I point this clicker? No, I know I point the green. Am I supposed to be pointing it at something? No. So this green button gives you an indication as to when do I advance? Correct? Okay. Should I be pointing it at something because I'm advancing and nothing is happening? Okay. In business, stop and admit when things ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we went too far. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Does anybody remember that first slide before this? Because I can keep talking while we... Okay, so what we're going to do, come to me, so that we can retarget them in ads in a little bit of time. If we know that people who engage are our hot leads, then our goal is to get them to engage in any sort of capacity. What type of content is going to work best? I like to come up with a 4-part framework for how to get people to engage. Now, before we get there, people will often ask, well, how many times should I be posting? As much as you can, how often as you can. But if you cannot do that, if you cannot, just like the gentleman before me talked about working out, perhaps daily, I would kindly advise for you to talk about your business at least once a day. And I understand that's hard. The bare minimum should be about 3 times a week. We're going to get into a framework of what if after EMC you give yourself a challenge? I'm going to post every day for 7 days. Great, I got you. So what we're going to do is a 4-part framework for creating powerful marketing on social media. I'm going to break these down all step by step. Number 1, to choose your content category. Number 2 is to choose the content type. Number 3 is to create a compelling caption. And number 4 is to engage. Step number 1. Yeah, oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Step number 1 is to choose the content category. So, now we're cooking with fire. Y'all, thank you so much. We went from like a wooden stove to now a gas stove. Okay, so 7 categories to get engagement on social media. Why do I feel so confident about this? We've actually done the studies. We've done the work. Tens of thousands of people using this type of framework. So before we get, oftentimes, whenever I give a suggestion, hey, why not try this? Oftentimes I met with, yeah, but I don't post behind the scenes. My warehouse isn't fancy. I don't post behind the scenes because of X. I don't actually talk about our mission or our why statement because nobody cares. Nobody here in England, we don't talk about our personal insights. I have to tell you that I have been around the world and people care. Statistically, back home in America, people will do unboxing clothing. Does anybody go grocery shopping and they say, this is my latest haul? Anybody looking at food? Those are the highest engaged stories. And yet what we would like to do, the 4 parts of mechanisms of why you to use an agency. And then you wonder why nobody pays attention. They don't actually care about that. But if you were to do a grocery market haul, or we're in the office today and I'm going to walk you through salmon to like Mathilde's lunch. An apple. You want to know what an apple does? Let's talk about an apple. 3 parts of an apple. We're going to talk about retargeting your clients, getting them engaged. You make it into a conversation and people start caring about me, encouragement, the benefits. If you don't actually talk about the benefits of your business, people won't know what they are. And I know you say, but Jasmine, I'm a dentist. Everybody knows the benefits. No, they don't. Jasmine, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Jasmine, I'm a realtor. Jasmine, I'm a tax attorney. Everybody knows. No, they don't. What are the benefits of filing early? What are the benefits of having an extension? What are the benefits of consulting with a professional? People don't know unless we tell them. So once we have these types of 7, step 2 is to choose the content type. And this is where it depends on the platform itself. We know on most social media platforms, photos, long-form videos, short-form videos like TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, Carousel, Live, and Stories. At the time of this presentation, the largest social platforms are indexing towards video. People will say, I post a photo and it doesn't perform as well anymore. I will tell you that a good photo will outperform a mediocre reel. However, Reels are indexed higher on Instagram and Facebook right now. And on LinkedIn, videos are indexed higher as well. So I don't make the rules. I just create content for the most amount of attention in the shortest amount of time. All you have to do is simply say, listen, Jasmine, I'm not going to do the point and dance thing. No problem. Can you just do a reel sharing 3 tips? Try it. Put it out to some trending music. Hold your phone here. Tip number 1. Tip number 2. Tip number 3, changing the backgrounds will actually keep somebody engaged and adding text to what it is you're saying, not just simply adding the caption button. That's fine. You could add captions, but adding pulled quotes drives people to watch again because they think and feel like they've missed something. So now let's just say you want to try and test posting for a week after EMC. What if you were to simply say 7 days? I can simply apply 1 caption category to each day. And then I could simply denote what type of content do I want to post on that day? A reel, a video, I can go live, I can do a carousel. Oftentimes, what stops the best marketers is not having a plan. You know what you want to say, but has anybody ever woken up on a Wednesday and you're like, we haven't posted since Saturday. Ugh, all right, let's go. Got nothing. Because you're tired and you're exhausted and you didn't create a plan. What would it feel for you to look like and say, oh, today it's a carousel. Let's talk about the benefits. Could I do a 4-part carousel, open up Canva, drop in a few quote cards, put our company logo and brand, educate our audience, and call it a day? Absolutely, because something is better than nothing. Step number 3 is to create a compelling caption. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, this is the greatest room of improvement. So at Social Curator, we created the HIC formula. This is what gets people talking back to you. The trick is your content is phenomenal, but 99% of people don't give a way for people to talk back. H is the hook. How are you going to get somebody to stop their reading? On Instagram and on Facebook, you're getting about 1 to 2 lines of copy depending on the layout. What can you say in about 72 characters that's going to make somebody stop their scroll, click on more, read the insights, and then get to the call to action? What do you want them to do? So I perused the hashtag from EMC 2022 to see what type of event I was going through to actually see who was posting about this phenomenal event that so many people want to go to in England, and yet you are the exclusive few who get to be here. The dream. Okay. Off to a conference for 3 days, invaluable content with the very best in marketing, and a massage as a bonus. Okay. Such a worthwhile event EMC 22 has been. 3 days of marketing and sales tips to bring in 2023. Great presentations with names. Highly recommend. Looking forward. Great. How many of us would actually have clicked on the read more? How many of us would actually left a comment? Not because they're not good. We just actually don't know how. Why should we care? I'm being very honest. If you were to look at your post, why would anybody care? Your business social media is not about you. Your business social media is how you serve your customers. When you look at each post, ask, does my customer know more, feel better about themselves, or have they been somewhat entertained? Here's a template. Anybody, please go outside. I know it's very windy. My husband, myself, and my 3-year-old daughter walked from the train station because I'm like, 0.7 miles in a wind tunnel, walking down here. And all I did was just walk in a wind tunnel and add text on my way to EMC. Much more engagement than a lot of the other stuff I posted. So if you went outside being like, I'm being blown away by the EMC content, and you put that as a boomerang, and you upload that video, and you use this, I can't believe I'm admitting this. Oh, the hook. What are you not going to admit? We all want to know. But I'm going to grow the name of your business to be bigger and better for you. We attended hashtag why, because you want other people to discover you. We're going to implement the following 2 things to create a better experience. Okay, what are the 2 things? You get to amend what you learned as a benefit to your followers, what you will do as a benefit for your followers. Then we're going to end with what? What change are you most looking forward to? Give them a way to talk back to you. Every single post should ask a question, be a part of a quiz, get an opinion, ask for recommendations, because people don't know how to talk back to you. If I came in and said, marketing, great marketing, marketing, great marketing, marketing, great marketing, why is nobody talking to me? How rude. What did I say? Hey, what's the best place to eat in Brighton? Anybody? Pardon me? Beautiful. We'll go there. Does anybody know where I can get an umbrella? Boots? I'm not staying in the hotel, but thanks. Fine. Somebody's talking back to me, and one comment is better than nothing. Step 4, engage. And this is where you have all of the power. This is where you win. This is where your marketing becomes unrefutably the best. Why? It's not about you. It's how you what? Make somebody feel. Engaging with your followers is going to be the best marketing your business will ever get. When I go to somebody's business profile and they're not getting a lot of engagement, no problem. What I want to know is, where are they going? Where are they going? Your job as a marketer is not to build a beautiful castle on a hill and then expect and hope for people just to find it. Your castle is hidden amongst trees, AKA a very congested algorithm. So if your castle, as beautiful and amazing it is hidden by trees, your job, oh king and queen, is to descend the hill, go down into the townspeople with a bell that says, "Heary, heary." I got some great recommendations for you. Where? In the castle. People don't know your castle exists until you're down on the floor with the people. So what are you going to do to be with the people? Go to your favorite hashtags. Actually open up any of your social platforms, the ones where you think that your followers are following. You go to followers, your followers. Go a little swipe like you're on the Prices Right. Do you have the Prices Right here? Okay, good. Price is Right. You know that big wheel? Just go to the big wheel. Stop your finger, and whoever it lands on, go to their profile, and you're going to leave a comment more than 4 words. The algorithm index comments more than 4 words differently than a yes, no, fun, fire, thanks, cute. Leave a comment that is, "I loved this content. So great seeing from you. Thanks for your insights. Hope you enjoyed your vacation." What we're doing is we're teaching people how to engage with our accounts. If you want people leaving more than 1 word on your account because you're like, "Is this a bot?" We give the thing that we want. So how can you create personal connections in a very digital world? I came with every objection that oftentimes I received, and we are going to have a Q&A session because, yes, I love these conversations where I can teach, but the real goods are going to be from your questions. I want to give tactical, tangible answers to your profoundly difficult questions and realize that you're not alone as you ask them. Everybody struggles with this. So you could take a picture of this, but when I go to accounts, and please know that I went to accounts before, and people aren't responding to comments, somebody's giving you a gold coin. Their time. And if you don't say thank you for the gold coin, they will not give you a gold coin again. So you try the best of your ability to respond to comments within 24 hours, respond to direct messages, go to your followers if they have an open account. You can go through, watch some of their stories, and the best way to actually bypass, does anybody know about that third inbox on Instagram, the one where all messages go to die? It's like all the spam. Oftentimes, if you're going to an account that you don't follow, thank you, Sammy, for the casual laugh. I'm up here, leave it to the one American in the room to give me the polite golf laugh. Thanks, I'll totally take it. That third inbox on Instagram, where all spam goes to die, if you are not following somebody and you send them a DM from their stories, it will likely go there. If you send them a DM, it will likely go there. If it goes to their stories and you're watching their stories, it goes to the second inbox, the ones that you have to notify to accept. Am I speaking everybody's language here? Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, because some people are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so best part. If somebody is emailing to ask you something about your business, let's say you're a digital agency, and they're like, "How long does a project take?" You can always answer, "It takes us about this long." Or if somebody asks you the question more than twice, quickly, even if it's a Google Doc, go and type up a robust answer, about 800 words, save it as a PDF, upload it behind a lead page. So if somebody says, "Jasmine, how do I build a brand?" jasminestar.com/branding. And I say, "I love this question. I can't respond in great detail. Here's a whole resource on it." So what am I doing? Lead gen that I will then put into a funnel to warm up and make an offer within the next 9 to 11 emails. If you are getting people to send enough interest, build them a long-form resource to build trust, cultivate them over time. This is how you get people from social media onto your list, and people who are on your list are much higher to convert as a potential customer. So your action item, the thing you should do today is to send a direct message. And what's going to happen is you're going to go to about 4, 5, 7 of your followers, and they're all going to have private accounts. And you're going to say, "This doesn't work." Well, There's going to be one other person who sends it to the 8th and finds out that they have an open account. You could send a direct message. This one is just, I noticed you. What? What did you do? You went to their account, you realized that they love golf and they love their local pub. I love a local pub. Where do you like to go in Leeds? Template number 2, I saw your recent post. This was exactly what I needed. When you're referencing something you saw on their account, you're doing a little bit of homework. I promise you, looking at their account will take you less than 4 seconds. Using this template will take another 10 to 12, less than 25 seconds for 3 DMs. You're looking about 3 minutes of engagement. I guarantee you at least one person is going to respond. And you're going to say, oh, this is going to seem so creepy. I'm just going to send a random DM to somebody. Yes, that's like you getting on the tube. The tube? Yeah. Good day. Was that creepy? Oh my God, they know who I am. You follow them. They know you. How would it feel for you to reach out across the internet and say, you matter? In review, the 4-step framework to creating powerful marketing on social media is to choose your content category. One of the 7 is to choose the content type. You get to choose the mechanism that serves best for you. Create a compelling caption using the HIC formula, and 4, engage. However much you can give, please give it. Remember, you're going down into the town to tell them about the castle that is on the hill. So, we're going to get the mics queued up. I believe we have runners. Please, 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 let's maximize our time here to get into questions so that you walk away with actual tangible things to go home and do to get the word out for your business. I'm a girl from the street. I know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. So you know why we need to do it. We need to create the personal connections. And you know how? We have a basic framework for you to go home, at least if you would like to try to post once a day for the next week. Now let's focus on the what. We're going to focus on the what during the Q&A. So I believe we have, if we can hold up the mics, we have a mic here. Beautiful. And does anybody have a question? Beautiful. We'll take the first mic to the woman in the green, and then the second mic to the woman behind her in the white jacket. And as we're getting the mic there, I'm going to talk about the 3 reasons you don't want to have these types of conversations. Before the questions come, Jasmine, I'm not outgoing. I've always been a shy person. I get it. On a level of 1 to 10 introvert, I'm a 12. And people say, no, you're on a stage. I like building a business more than I like being an introvert. I will do whatever it takes for me to get to where I want to go. My fear and my doubt will not stop me. And I invite you, as you grab your mic and as you frame your questions, I'm going to ask of things that would make you uncomfortable. But guess what? Your comfort level has got you here. To get to the next place, we got to get a little bit uncomfortable. Thank you.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi.
So I'm currently launching a wholesale travel platform. From the very beginning, I'm in charge of international expansion for the UK and Europe, and I would like to know what your advice would be to get this off the ground.
You're probably not going to like it. Start small. Start small. We're going to start in regions. In California, we have something called counties. I was born and raised in Los Angeles County. I now live in Orange County, just south of Los Angeles County. Dominate county, by half state, by 3/4 state, by full state. I'm telling you, the hardest pull will be the half state. You getting half the state, but all of your concentration. So as you're going to networking events, as you're going to industry events, as you're speaking to other people and creating content, you're going to be geo-targeting for that demo, and then it'll slowly bleed out from there. The minute you try to go from one end of England to the other, it's going to be the hardest thing. I actually doubt that the veracity of it growing. Starting small, expanding thereafter. The minute you get an entire state. Do we have states here in England? Counties. I was homeschooled. Forgive me. Not all Americans are this daft. Again? Oh, counties. We have counties that are just a little bit different. We have counties instead of states. We're bigger. Okay, so county by county, England, Scotland, France. That's how you're going to be international. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi. Oh, and then the next question after the woman in the white jacket. I'll take the mic down here to this gentleman in the black sleeve shirt. Yes.
Hi, Jasmine. I'm Jasmine.
Hi.
You mentioned in your HRC framework call to action. Should you always have a call to action on every post? And what should that look like?
A question, advice, recommendation, a quiz, yes or no. Have you ever felt this way? What do you think about this? What is your next big step? What are your thoughts on this post? How might I be of service? What TV show do you like to watch, or who watches TV anymore? What Netflix show are you watching? I noticed on the tube that there's this. Do we think that big boots and big jackets are a thing this year in London? Asking a question will always get somebody, not always, it is way more likely to get somebody involved than simply saying, my outfit of the day, this is what I like, this is what I know, I build a travel agency, ta-da, nobody's gonna respond.
Okay, so that's what you mean by call to action.
Absolutely.
I thought, oh, go see my page.
Beautiful. Thank you for the clarification, Jasmine. Yes. 80% engagement on platform, 20% off platform. Thank you so much. I forgot to say that during the presentation. Obviously, we want to get people into our business, but going from an Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook post to buy about 0.02% that somebody would convert off that. I believe that most of the sales are existing on the DMs. So, very good call to action. If you like for information, send me a DM. Oftentimes, I'll be running invitations to come to a live class, and I'll put it in the post. Here's a link, but send me a DM for a personal invite. People doubt that I will DM them. I'm in my DMs. If you DM me today, I will DM you. Why? You matter. Period. How dare I stand on this stage and speak about something I do not do? So a good DM would be, a good call to action is to get them to the DMs, send them a resource or a link to opt in from there. Hi.
Hey, Jasmine, my name's Martin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Insanely powerful presentation.
Thank you.
One of the previous presenters was talking about AI.
Yes.
And we are becoming so much more disconnected from that human-to-human interaction as a result of AI. So what are you doing across your businesses with AI, but then to still remain connected with your audience?
So I love AI. Do I worry about it being in the wrong hands to the wrong people? Absolutely, like any other smart business owner. We created Dottie, an AI social media manager. When somebody logs in to Social Curator, she is there to help you as your social media manager. You build out a profile, you ask her to type something to give you something. Based on your profile, it generates something for you to be posting out on social. The goal on Social Curator is to get you out. What is the most reason that business owners are not talking on social media? I don't know what to say. So Dottie will help you to come up with to say, but engaging to comments is on you. Sending DMs, that's on you. We're wanting to get the bulk of it without excuses for you to actually go in and put in that personal touch. We want to build the sundae, you get to add the cherry. I believe that it's the cherry that's going to be moving the needle in businesses moving forward, 100%. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we have the mic here. Hi. And then where's the second mic? Beautiful. I'll take it to the women back there in the purple sweater. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Irene. Thank you for such an amazing talk, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Really inspiring, especially your story, how you got where you are. My question is, I've got a podcast called Be Happy, Healthy and Wealthy. I've just released an episode on long COVID syndrome, how to treat it.
Beautiful.
How can I help it to make it go viral?
Oh, podcasts. My favorite.
And YouTube as well.
My favorite beast of it. There's actually not a true growth mechanism for podcasts outside of ads. We'll start there. If you want people to see more or hear more of your podcast, you're running ads to it. At this point in time, even the best, so Gimlet Media wanted to come up and create a rival podcasting network to that of Apple, and it didn't work because algorithmically, it started too late. You can't kind of change the beast that it is. So the recommendations, have you ever been on Apple and you're like, why am I getting this recommendation? No idea whatsoever. It isn't really an algorithm. Nobody's really going there to be like, I'm going to stumble upon great content. They go with intent. So as big of a guest that you can get on your podcast, if you do guests, is to bring them on and then start with their name first. So if there was, give me a famous health person in England. Tim Spector, talking about gut health. Then the next person, name. So when somebody's going in and searching by that person's name, there's a higher likelihood that your podcast will come up. Secondly, it's going to be consistency that's going to get to people to subscribe over time. Every single one of my podcasts, I'm like, would you do me a favor and subscribe? Why? I know people will come by way of a link on a social profile, like what they get, and it's like that commitment. What podcasting does that's different than social media is that it's almost asking for a ring upon meeting. On social media, if you come across a reel, or you come across a post and you follow, it's really quick. And you're like, it's low-hanging fruit. I can kind of scroll past. A podcast, 30, 45, 60, 90 minutes, that's a big commitment. People subscribing to podcasts is very, very, very low. So you have to tell them what you want them to do on the front end of the podcast, the middle of the podcast, at the end of the podcast. Now, YouTube, that's a beautiful mechanism. If you're podcasting and not putting out on YouTube, please understand that in the beginning, here, I have a YouTube channel that I started in my photography days. It grew heavily during that time. And then when I pivoted the content, there's about 80,000 followers, or actually someone's gonna say it's not 80, it's probably around 75,000 followers, but predominantly it was there because of photography. So now when I'm posting out my podcast and I'm like, I'm so excited for this podcast, it has 200 views. Awesome. It feels like a waste. Watch it in 3 years. So what we do on YouTube is just simply to say this is a search engine, and we know in 2 years from now, when we are interviewing the next big person, they're going to be coming to YouTube to search for that. They're hardly going to be going to Apple, Stitcher, Spotify in a search mechanism as much as they are for YouTube. I hope that helps. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and then we can get the mic to this woman standing here, and then we'll go back to the purple.
Hi, Jasmine. I'm Alicia, and I'm a social curator.
Woo!
Yes. I've been following you for many years, and your advice has been some of the most game-changing advice for my business, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am at a stage where I'm making a consistent income. I hired my first person this year, and I'm wondering what your advice would be for how to figure out what the next big stage is in your business.
I'm going to repeat back the question as I heard it. This year, I've reached a level of consistency. Did I hear that? Financial consistency?
That's right, yeah.
Financial consistency. What is the next big step? The next big step, number one, gratitude. There was a day in your former life that you wish that this would be the moment. And here you are in your business and in this room. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number two, ask yourself how you're going to double it. That's it. Ask yourself, how do I double it? If you can't find an answer, spend all of your time asking, how do I double? The minute you double, then you're going to ask yourself again, how do I double this? This is a game of concentric circles. And I promise you, after the fourth or fifth concentric circle, your life is going to be filled with so much contentment, but also an ache to do something else. So what you're going to do is build out these concentric circles. And then you're going to build out another set of concentric circles, each with overlapping areas. There's this Japanese word called ikigai, which is basically your soul's purpose. And anything in the middle is where your truest being is going to be. So any entrepreneur who's been in the game for over 20, 30 years, congratulations on freaking ikigai. You've stayed in the game longer than anybody else. You stayed in a game that set out to beat you. Congratulations. So my friend, you're in the circle of your very first concentric circles. Double it, double it, double it. Ask yourself, what am I going to do again to build concentric circles over that? So in the middle of it, in 20 or 30 years, I look back and I say, job well done. The game was supposed to spit me out, and here I am. Congratulations.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Yes. I would love, we'll have the mic here, and then one mic to the gentleman, and that's where we're going to end it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Hi, Jasmine. I'm Emma, and I'm a YouTube creator and
It's right back there, the gentleman with the blue shirt. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, Emma.
Hi. I'm a YouTube creator and a YouTube coach now. And one of the things is that I wanted to know was, when you're a creator, you sometimes keep having so many creative ideas and entrepreneurial ideas. And I wondered, how do you know which idea is going to be the one to run with? In my own experience, I've had lots of different socials for the different ideas, and I don't know which one to run with.
You don't know until you try. So the tricky part of not knowing until you try is knowing when to let go. I like to give myself at minimum 12 months, 4 seasons to actually see what has happened from here, but also setting metrics that are attainable. I don't know about you, but oftentimes we say, oh, in a year, I probably should have 23,000 subscribers on YouTube, obviously. And then where did we get that number? We just pulled it from thin air. We just said, well, that person got it, and that person, yeah, seems about fair. And all of a sudden, when you have 200, you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? But if you were to actually Google average growth rate for a YouTube channel that actually stays activated for more than 10 months, you're going to get a real answer. So if you would like to set out goals and say, I'm going to start this YouTube channel, average YouTube growth. People say on Instagram, oh, I want to get to 10,000 followers. How many do you have right now? I have about 1,000. When do you want to get to 10,000? In about a year. Great. Well, the average growth rate on Instagram is about 2.7%. So unless you do something wildly magical, you're not going to get to that number unless you start infusing it with paid ads. So How do you know when to quit? Do a lot of research on industry, benchmarks, metrics, and then ask yourself, based on my time, my energy levels, and the money I have to invest, are these feasible? If not, elongate that timeline from 12 months to 24 months. If you have more money, listen, I would love me a good sugar daddy. Why? I'd pay some good ads, drive down the rate, experiment with that, and then go on that. But I don't have that. Furthermore, I don't need that, nor does anybody else. Set your metrics, put your head down, work, and work, and work, and work, and work. And guess what? When you decide that this idea doesn't work, you're going to get somebody who says, that video changed the very thing that I wanted to do. Is that $1 million in your pocket?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi.
Incredible talk. I loved your energy on stage as well.
Thank you.
My name is Junior, and I'm the co-founder of a tool that completely removes the guesswork from growing on TikTok, as in it gives you all the strategies you need in terms of the content plan, the script. Now, I understand that we're in similar spaces now that you're in the SaaS business. So I'm wondering, what skills do I require as a co-founder and CEO, and what skills does a team require to actually successfully launch and bring this product to solve our customers' problem?
Do you have a go-to-market strategy right now?
We're very early stages.
And who are your content creators?
Content creators, main focus is coaches. However, because I was in the music industry before, we've got 9,700 musicians on our wait list.
Okay, hold on. You're going after coaches. 9,700 are musicians.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that was the lowest hanging fruit at the time, because my last startup was in the music industry.
But why coaches?
I think it's a very lucrative industry, and actually the people that talk most on videos, the technology that we have, which is language processing, it's very much text-based and speech rather than showing music.
Love it. Can I push a little? Here's the thing, y'all. I am actually not an innovator, and I'm okay with that. I'm an editor. I can look at something and think, this needs to change. I'm also a pattern spotter. What I sense, and I could be totally wrong, and I love poking holes. My poking holes is going to do one of two things to you. It's going to push you closer to where you want to be with your coaches, or it's going to push you farther from where you want to be with your coaches. Both of those situations are so good because you can be so dogmatic about where you're headed. Number one, with your lowest hanging fruit, build the first concentric circle to build where there is the most demand. Figure out what they want. There are pressure points. What do you actually need to do to get a musician to actually talk on camera? If you can get a musician to talk on camera, coaching a coach to talk on camera is going to be easy peasy. Go to the hardest where you have the most rife people who are willing to invest, beta test, grow with you, evangelize, then start moving thereafter. Because if you don't have coaches who are creating for you right now, which is why I said, what's your go-to-market strategy and who are your influencers or your creators, and you don't have a whole subset of coaches who are already using it, it's going to be very difficult to, one, convince a coach to use the platform, then become a creator for the platform, then incentivize. So if you have a group of people you could start testing with, I would go there because it's going to be your cheapest go-to-market strategy. Innovate from there on. How does that feel?
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a dream come true. I want to tell you that there was a point in my life that I wanted to come to conferences just like this. And in my Instagram direct messages, people were saying, I wish I could have gone to that conference. I just want you to have like the deep, profound experience that you're in the room, that you're not in the tube and you're not in traffic and you're not outside in the rain and you're not sitting in a cubicle and you're not at home preparing dinner or picking up kids from carpool. You're not having to work with a coworker who's just like voice consistently screeches against your very fiber of your being. You're not there today. The past version of you is so thankful that you made the hard decisions to invest in yourself to be here. So on the days that it gets very hard, because it does, and on the nights that they get very long, because they do, and on the mornings when it feels very cold and you're like, not another hit today, and then it comes and it takes you out of your knees, the only person who will stop yourself from getting up is you. Thank you for getting up in the past to be here in this room. There is a future version of yourself who is looking back at you and saying, thank you for doing that. And I simply get to be the voice of that today. Thank you 1,000 times over. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you.